I just wanted to take a moment and thank everybody for all the support on these videos and to remind everybody what we're doing this for. It's the 22 states to help raise awareness for the 22 veterans that are taking their life every day. They went to some pretty horrible places and saw some pretty horrible things. And I'm just hoping that somehow by doing these rides, I can help shed a little bit of light on the problem. And if you know any veterans, check in on them. And maybe it's something simple like just hanging out for a little bit, or maybe you guys go jump on a bike and go for a ride once a week or something like that. Just some kind of connection. I know for me, every time I had a really bad day, if I got on the bike and went for a ride, I always felt better. So maybe it's just that simple. I just wanted to remember why we're doing this, so I'm going to save this clip and probably put it on the rest of the videos from here on. So if you're curious what we're doing this for, this is what it is. It's not just me out riding aimlessly off into the sunset. For me, there's a reason, and I hope you guys get that. Some of you do. Thanks, I do appreciate it. Okay, on with the show.
Okay, good morning. It's about 6:20 on the 23rd of April, 2022. Pretty long shadows here still, so we're not going to get very much sun for the first hour, but we'll get something. Yeah, what a beautiful looking day though. It was kind of cold last night, but not near as cold as what I'm used to lately, so we got a few neighbors, I guess. Yeah. No wind at all right now. If this holds, man, I'm gonna fly. Kind of don't expect it to stay quiet like this all day, but take it if we get it, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, I've only got like 35 volts on the battery, so it's got a long ways to go for charging, so yeah, anyway. Oh, there's a better shot of that sticker from All In Cycles. That's a pretty nice sticker too. Super cool. Get the shine on it. Thanks, guys. Alright, let's get going here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to like having the second panel that's not rigidly mounted, so I can just undo a couple of carabiners and move it to a new position. So at the moment, aim the whole thing at the sun, lay the bike over to get a good angle, and then the second panel, it's still plugged in, I just lean it against the seat of the bike. That's going to work pretty good, I think. Just trying to be careful with this one not to break it. It's too flexible, right? So that would be the next step, is to build a frame for it, kind of like what I did with this, but maybe not quite as heavy. Okay, it's a few minutes before 8 o'clock. I'm all loaded up. I've actually got a bit of a tailwind right now, so I should probably get going. Yay! And the winds today are not going to be above 10 miles an hour all day, it looks like. So yeah, this is the day we've been waiting for, so let's make the most of it. Yay! Only about a mile out of camp, I got to just a gentle downhill, so I turned the electrics off. Probably cruising 10 miles an hour still, 8 to 10. Anyway, just a gorgeous day. Just a tiny bit of a tailwind. It's going to warm up really good today. It's going to be about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, so in the 70s. So it's about as good as it gets, I think. Put my shorts on first thing this morning. So yeah, since 7:30 I had my shorts on. That's a good way to start the day. With the wind, my arms were going to get cold, I thought. So we'll see. Alright. Thanks for flying the friendly, scary, terrifying shoulder on the freeway. Yeah! Okay, I just had to get a shot of this. I can't see it on the screen, so in case it's not showing up, somebody put Christmas decorations on that tree. See blue and gold and red kind of glitter streamers. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, since we're here, let's see a landscape, I guess. Some snow on the peaks. It's a pretty good hill over there. Alright, forward and onward. Yeah, this is kind of fun how this is working out. I know I gotta climb later, but I got more power now than when I left camp. Been riding for about 45 minutes now. It's been just mostly a gradual downhill. There was a little bit of an uphill, but nothing really. So most of the last 45 minutes, I've just turned the electrics off. All right, while I was at the bike shop, they hooked me up with some little energy packs here. Pretty cool. That's the kind of thing, you get a bunch of them, they don't take up very much space. Just tried that one, it was good. I liked it. A little extra power to get you going. Thank you very much. Well, I just about screwed up. I was planning on leaning against these planters out here at the AM/PM. And at the last second, I realized they're made out of plastic because I could see the light through it. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to ding that thing all up. They'd probably be mad at me, but what I was thinking, I could lean, if I flipped up the panel first, leaned it over, and then flipped it back out, that would have been perfect. But it is not to be. So, anyway, quick snack stop, since I only had like 2 Cliff Bars left out of everything. I'm like, I don't think I have any food at all after those, so. Okay, snack stop. I was like 2 Cokes, 2 Snicker bars, 2 Cliff Bars, 2 something else. Good. Half for now, half for later. Well, life is good now. We've got a good solid tailwind. So we're zooming right along. Still pretty rugged looking landscape, but don't have the red rocks here. There is a Red Rock Canyon by Vegas though, so I think I might be going through that. I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly where it was. Okay, in case that doesn't show up, that's solar panels from here all the way to there, and I can't see how far they go, but that's a huge setup, just out there shining in the sun. Kind of a weird situation right now. It's 2 o'clock. I'll probably be to the outskirts of Vegas by 3:30 or something like that. Well, it's maybe even sooner. I'd like to get as close to Vegas as I can, but I still want to be in a spot that I can set up camp and not cause any trouble. And I'm feeling like I'm too early, and I can't go fast enough to get all the way through Vegas before, well, really by 4:30 or so, because I need time for the battery to recharge before I set up camp, or before I go to bed or whatever. So I'm like, okay, it's 2 o'clock. I don't want to look for a campsite yet, you know. All right, we are about 15 miles from Vegas. Hit a Love Center, which had a Subway and a big drink, which is good. Oh, and birds. These guys are friendly enough. Okay. Oh, and pigeons. Have to watch my steps so I don't step on them. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I don't know if it came through on the other one, so I was coming up with a plan. It makes sense to stop before Vegas, but it's only now 3 o'clock, 2:45. But I usually stop around 4 or 4:30 anyway, so I actually wouldn't be stopping that early. I was making decent time today with the tailwind. One of the weird things that you only notice on a tailwind, I was feeling uncomfortable, and I finally just realized it's just because it's so warm, right? And when I'm riding, I'm keeping up to the wind pretty much. So I look down at the GPS and I'm going 13, 14 miles an hour, but I'm not getting the air hitting me to cool me off, right? So then you stop and it's like, oh, there's the wind, you know. So right here I'm in the shelter, but when I came off the freeway, I did a 90-degree turn to the wind, and I was like, whoa, it's windy. So just kind of one of those things that you forget until you turn that you got a tailwind. Yeah, just kind of odd experience. So yeah, as it turned out, it's like, okay, so I left Mesquite, forgot to hit the Walmart. So I think I had 2 or 3 Cliff Bars in the bag, and I was looking through all the bags for the spokes last night, and I realized while I was doing that is I had taken all of the snacks out of all of the other bags while I was in the hotel, thinking, well, I'll just eat them, and skip a meal at the buffet or something like that, and then planned on going to the Walmart on the way out of town. And then when I finally got the wheel, and I saw sunshine and the wind didn't seem too strong, it was like, oh, go, 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 So then I completely forgot to hit the Walmart. But yeah, after riding every day, I mean, up until Mesquite, I think I only, the first actual campsite that I stayed for 2 nights. That's when I had all the broken spokes. That was in New Mexico. After that, I've only stayed 1 night in like the motels or whatever, and I've ridden every day except for 1 day. And then I got to Mesquite, and then I had almost a whole week off, Sunday night until Friday afternoon. So that was kind of weird. So try to find balance, but I'm almost thinking, I mean, like, this was the first question I had on when I started thinking about the sun trip in the first place, is how many days in a row could I ride and not burn out, right? Now I need, if I was lighter and faster, would make a difference, but I think I could maintain 7-hour days continuously with the solar and not really wear out. So as long as you can stay hydrated and keep your nutrition up, that's one of the biggest things. Is you don't want to get more than just Snicker bars and root beer all the time. That eventually would wear you out. But it's been an interesting experience so far, just kind of experimenting with what can I do and how hard can I push. 'Cause I know there was some days I was really feeling it, but I think that was allergies as much as anything. It wasn't exhaustion. So now I'm in the habit, I take a couple Benadryl in the morning when I wake up, just so I don't have that happen. And if it gets really, like today my eyes were burning, so I don't know if it was something in the wind, probably. So I might take another Benadryl before I go to bed, just so I don't get all choked up in the middle of the night. But anyway, just about 3 o'clock, I'll eat now and then go find a place. Yay. Good day though. It felt really good to be on the road again. That never gets old. Alright, so Interstate 15 is over there. I just stopped at a Love's travel center about 5 miles back. Las Vegas is about 15 or 20 miles that way, depending on what part. I pulled in here right at about 4 o'clock. Pretty much if I stop at 4 and get everything aimed at the sun, I should have a good battery by sunset. So we're all just kind of hunkered down. There is I think it's Old Highway 93 is right here. It's pretty close. I'm further from that than I am usually from the freeway though. So I saw a couple signs already, no shooting inside of city limits or something like that. So I'm inside Las Vegas city limits now. And there's a guy over on the other side of the road just shooting up a storm. So I'm like, okay, as long as I don't hear ricochets, I'll be fine. I'm trying to decide, should I put the orange vest up so that he can see me, or should I hide it so nobody else sees me? The solar panels kind of give things away, but this kind of stuff blends in pretty good. So, yeah, there's not a lot of places to hide here. I looked at that gravel pile over there. I'm like, well, I could get down behind that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I think this will be fine. This road is pretty well traveled, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere. It goes like basically to there and turns around and comes back. Wind is blowing, but it's really warm, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. It will get probably cold tonight, but not compared to what I'm used to, so we should be fine. If you listen, you might hear the gunshots. Oh, he's reloading. Anyway, I just heard pop, 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 pop. So, yeah, anyway. So the plan, basically the way this is working out, I'm getting closer and closer to 4 o'clock. I've been running pretty fast. I thought I wasn't making very good miles, and which was confusing because I had a tailwind. It was a lot of downhill. I kept pulling the battery down, but I did 58 miles. Okay, so I did better than I thought. And I think what happened was I had set an intermediate marker first, and that was 30 miles. And I went past that, and I think in my mind I was still thinking 30 miles, but I went past that at like 11 o'clock or something like that. So, did pretty good. And I was kind of like right in between. It's like, there's no way I can make it through Las Vegas and then find a place to camp for the night before dark. You know, the sun is getting lower, so I couldn't have done it. But when I started making that decision, it was still only 2 o'clock, and I'm like, well, the tricky bit was I didn't want to all of a sudden find myself in town. Anyway, I think that's it for today. Yeah, I was really happily surprised when I realized I did 58 miles. I was like, oh, great. You know, 'cause I was thinking, man, I felt like I was riding pretty fast. Quite often when I looked down at the GPS, it was showing 12, 13, 14 miles an hour, but then I'd stop quite often, you know, just randomly to get off and stretch or take a picture or take a whiz or... Yeah, okay, so I did almost 60 miles today. That felt good. And I really felt that I hadn't rode for a while. It was just getting used to it again. So try not to take any more days off if I can help it. Happy to be back on the road, that's for sure.